Fine leg. What is it? What the Victorian novel writers used to call a trimmer. He took the rails, drove them in opposite directions, and that is Surrey's main hope gone, I would say, with Roop. Gold Hughes 35.
That was an extraordinary shot, John. He just made a glorious cover drive. That ball, I wouldn't have thought was that short to have played that short a shot too. He may have been thinking that having been hit for four, that the young bowler would tend to put it, you know, pull it back a bit and bowl a short one, but I wouldn't have thought that was much short of a good length.
He played right across it, didn't he? Almost took right angles to it.
I see that Inti hasn't come in. They've sent Monty Lynch in. I know Monty pretty well. He was on the staff when I first went to Surrey. He can play good attacking cricket, but I thought at this stage of the game that possibly the experience of Intikar may have been a little bit more to the benefit of Surrey.
But Lynch fundamentally is a better player, isn't he?
Oh, I would have thought so, but from a Middlesex point of view, I know that when Inti came in, we always considered him very dangerous, and I would have thought his record of run getting against Middlesex is probably better than it is against a lot of other sides. And you know what they say, sort of horses for courses. And if I was a Middlesex player, I must say I would have much rather Monty Lynch be coming in than Inti at the moment.
What's Lynch like temperamentally?
He's a nervous starter.
Hughes comes in then, bowls to him, and he turns this off his legs away, on the leg side, just forward and square, they get two here.
That immediately disproves the point that I just said.
You want to try this job, Fred, it's a killer. I've only got to make a positive statement. Cricketers have got no consideration for commentators. I've only got to make a statement and they prove you wrong.
That's right. But I know Monty. He tends to be a little nervous, but get him away and he can play pretty well.
He plays that up to mid-off, that's Brearley, and that's the end of the over. 111 for 4. 15 to Smith, who's played very much out of character by my book because I make him an attacking player, and 2 to Lynch. 111 for 4 after 44 overs.
Yes, that was one of the problems I had at the over with David Smith. I always thought he was a magnificent striker of the ball. He's a big, tall, strong chap. He's a better player when he's attacking. And again, you have to convince him that he can hit the ball. Today, he's got into a funny position. He's only got 15. There's a lot of overs gone. And I think now he certainly have to look to get on with it. He can get on with it against any sort of bowling, but there's not too many overs left.
Surely, Fred, the trouble with this boy is not one of ability, it's one of psychology, isn't it?
Oh, I think you're right. He's always had great ability that, as I say, you have to talk him into believing he can play.
He can do anything when he wants to. He can bowl very well.
Oh, that's right.
I've seen him make spectacular catches.
That's right.
He's got immense talent.
I think Mickey Stewart, you know, over the last year has done a very good job with him, but he certainly needs to pull one or two things out of the fire at the moment.
And it's Daniel, the bowl to him, coming up from the pavilion end. Those great long strides he bowls. Smith turns that off his pads to get a single to Embry at square leg. Moving very fast, and Brearley, and you can always tell when Brearley's strategies are going right. He's so positive, so quick in reaction, and there before that run was even completed, he was changing the field on the other side and setting it up for Lynch, with 3 men saving the 1 and 2 out on the leg side. Mid-off cover, deep backward point on a 3rd man, fairly fine. On the offside, and Daniel comes in, bowls to Lynch, and hits him on the pad. It bounces out on the onside. No appeal from Daniel, who was aiming at her outside the leg stump. And here again we have this phenomenon of recent years where key players in both sides are West Indians, A West Indian fast bowler now, bowling to a West Indian batsman, with another West Indian out on the leg field. Daniel bowling to Lynch. Butcher in the field. Daniel, this huge, muscular man, coming in, bowls, and Lynch splashes at that, and Downton takes it. It moved back, and Downton took it wide of the line of the leg stump.
I think what is interesting about the statement you just made, John, is that two of those West Indies have learned all their cricket in England, and that's a very nice thing to see. Even Wayne Daniels, I think, has been on the Middlesex staff since he was about 17. Though Don Bennett collared him when he was very young, but at least we now have West Indians coming through that have learned their cricket here.
Indeed. That's true, of course, of Gordon Greenwich. Daniel then comes in, bowls, and Lynch shapes to play that off the hip. They go for a quick single, and they get it. But my word, it was a risky run. 113 for 4 now then. And of course there's a fourth West Indian to come who could yet play a major part in the match. Sylvester Clark, the Surrey fast bowler. Of these 4, 3 were born in Barbados, that tiny island, not all that much bigger than the Isle of Wight. It's produced enough players since the war for 3 test teams.
That is an extraordinary island, isn't it, John? You know, as well as being a lovely island to visit, all these players, they seem to come from nowhere, don't they? And most of them are top class and very good entertainers.
I see somebody must just have sent a postcard over there, and Happy Allen appears. Ezra Mosley or somebody like this.
Right.
They're still faster than any home products. In comes Daniel then, bowls outside the off stump. Smith chops that away. Run for a oh, a lovely pick up there by Butcher. A pick up on the run and throw in. By heaven, they used to say this boy couldn't field. And 2 of those running pickups out there on the leg side have been in the Constantine class, running at full speed, clean across the ball, picking up as he runs and hammering it in. Splendid piece of fielding. 2 there then to Smith.
I think this boy, Roland Butcher, I've seen him make 200s, and no one in the world could have matched him, John. I hope we haven't seen the best of him yet. He's such a good player.
Daniel to Smith. Plays this out on the outside to Salvi at mid-off. I think we've not yet seen the best of him, and the fact that he wants to play for England is very pleasing. He'll learn his cricket here after all. And I think he's a credit to the Middlesex training. 116 for 4 then, with 19 to Smith and 2 to Lynch, and now after Fred Titmus, it will be Christopher Martin.
Well, John said the Middlesex training, but I think that Roland came off the MCC staff, as many players did, myself and Compton and Edrich and Roberts and those sort of people. They really, over the years, have produced a lot of people, and generally when people have come off the MCC staff, the fielding from those boys have been very good.
Here's Hughes now from the nursery, and bowling to Smith, who cuts the no ball off the front foot. They go over, but awful mix-up, could be a run out, not out. Dickie Bird going backwards at a rate of knots was in a good position to see that extraordinary mix-up between fielders there, as Smith and Lynch hesitated about that run. He struck it hard to mid-off, off the front foot, and Gatting and Barlow somehow got themselves into a tangle. But despite that, and I'm not sure who actually threw the ball, but whoever did hit the stumps pretty well. Anybody see who did? I didn't.
11 runs. Sorry, 9 was it, Bill? 9 runs coming off the over. I think if they could keep up 9 runs per over, the 7 remaining overs, they'd be very happy and finish up with something like 228. And I think Surrey would be very happy to get to that. I don't think they will, but they'll be very happy.
They'll be doing well.
They'll be doing very well, John.
Middlesex going to bring on Gatting in preference to Hughes, which may mean almost a recantation from the original selection. Hughes figures 10 overs, 2 for 54. Been the only bowler who's been remotely expensive. The sun bright, the ground packed. Crowd front of the tavern, hectically noisy and mindless, and Gatting with a field so remotely spread that they can only be in contact by radar. There's a mid-wicket and an extra cover, and everybody else who's so far away is hard to recognise. And not a good moment for Gatting, who's been vastly under-bowled lately, to come on. The long leg, third man fine, third man square. Gatting bowls, Smith drives down to long off. That's Van der Bijl or Bale or Beale.
According to the commentator.
Well, there's a general consensus that whatever you say, it's wrong. Let us accept that. The right-hander now then, Intikab, mountainous Pakistani, really belts the ball in front of the wicket. Huge, muscular, amiable man. And Gatting comes in, bowls to him, and he drives it back to the bowler. A checked stroke. Did a little bit off the pitch at him, and he picked it up. No real life in the pitch to encourage front foot hitter. Even Root couldn't get away with it. And at the moment up here, Fred Truman is laying a smoke barrage. It's fairly deadly too. Gatting comes in, bowls into cap, draws back, drives this high. Van der Bijl's under it. He's going to drop it. He's held it. No, drop. He put one hand out. Put one hand out like a child asking for food. And the ball dropped in it and dropped out. A 4 is signalled. He was never going to get it. He was misjudging it all the time. He was looking up into the sun under that pitiful little sun hat, and never really lined it up. So 4 to Intikab, and Gatting comes in again, and Intikab backs away again and lands it over the double extra cover for 6. 176 for 5 then. 50 on the board between these two. Intikab 31, Smith 45 was held the wicket together, innings together. 176 for 5 in the 54th over, and Gatting comes in and bowls, and Intikab lets this hit his pad, bounce out on the onside. Bradley coming in, fields, picks up 9 off the over, which might have been worse. 176 for 5, and who are the people with how many overs to come, Bill?
Daniel's got 3, Van der Bijl 2, and they've got 1 more from either Hughes or Gatting.
There's more than 9 up the over. There was a 6 and a 4 for a start.
Sorry.
It's 11, isn't it? Yeah. It was a very good over for Surrey. But what a great shot, that 6. Well, there was a 6 and a 4, so that took it 1 above 10 anyway. But what a beautiful shot that 6 was, over extra cover, and it went a long way back. He gave himself a little bit of room, he got inside the line of the ball, and he went right through with the shot. It was a cracking shot.
Boomerang curve.
Oh, he was a beauty. I want about another 10 of those.
Smith, tall, commanding looking, and Daniel comes in, bowls to him, tries to hit him down the leg side. Downton on his knees, scrambles across to take it down the leg side. No run. Sun bright now. A peculiar chanting coming from the front of the tavern, born on the wings of ale. And 176 for 5 in the 55th over. 31 Intikab, 45 Smith. The first sign of Surrey prosperity, and this great big muscular man Daniel comes in again, bowls, and Smith drives that to mid-wicket, but really gets a hand to it and half checks it, returns it. Did you make those chance, Fred?
To be very fair, John, I couldn't see the ball travel from the bat to the fielder. But it was a good piece of fielding by Braley. He went a long way to his right. If it was a chance, I'm sorry, because I couldn't see the ball.
I thought it was a punt ball, in fact.
There didn't seem to be much of an ooh go round the ground, did there? But it was a beautiful piece of fielding by Mike Braley. He certainly, I think, saved 2 runs. I think they might have got 3 out of that.
He now becomes extra cover, the only man in front of the wicket on the offside, saving the one, as Daniel moves up from the pavilion end and bowls to Intercab, and Intercab whips this down to long on, Salvage closing in to return. And the field taking up positions without a word from the captain. I think this is all done on paper long before play started. 3 men now saving the one. 1 man just backward a square on the leg side, a mid-wicket and a cover, short third man, an extra cover and a mid-wicket. And Daniel to bowl to the left-handed Smith. Bowls and hits him on the pad and it bounces out to no ball. Daniel put a great deal of effort into this, that and overstep the crease.
They all count, John.
They all count, yes. Daniel walking back, one shirt sleeve rolling loose down his left arm, the other hoist high. You're not sure where the ball is. It comes across from Barlow. And his shirt collar, rather like one of those melodramatic scenes in which somebody's whipped off his dress tie, his shirt collar is all awry and dragged out. He comes up, a couple of short wings, the shirt collar, shirt bouncing on his great back as he comes in, bowls to Smith, and Smith tries to play him down the leg side. Again, Downton is putting effect before appearance. He shambles across and gets gloves and pads behind that. Still no buys, Bill.
No buys.
Well, he hasn't taken the ball very cleanly, but it's 179 on the board. None of them buys, and the ball, as Fred Titmuss was at pains to point out, coming off at odd heights. And Daniel, trousers and shirt sticking to him with sweat and rucked up, turns at the beginning of his run, wrist cocked, a few short strides, then breaking into great galloping strides, bowls, and Smith drives that, lifts it over mid-wicket, where Brearley is, and it's through to the boundary there, under the grandstand scoreboard. For Smith's 50. I think, Phil, if my memory serves me right, 2 years ago, Surrey sacked this boy. That's right. And my word, were they wise to take him back. He had his psychological tangles, but his talent has never been a scrap in doubt. 50 in 122 minutes of 91 balls, 4 fours, a slow start, the last 22 off 14 balls. And Daniel comes in now and bowls to him. And he flicks this crisply with a turn of the wrist to Brearley at mid-wicket. 6 and a no ball off the over. And Brearley calling up Ponderbale, Vincent at 183 for 5 off 55 overs. Fred, a winning total?
I don't think so, John. I think if they get somewhere near, say, 210, I think it might become a little bit tight. The Surrey bowling attack, it's not as good a bowling attack as the Middlesex one.
168, the highest winning total in the lowest winning total in the final.
But it could be, it's something for them to bowl at now. There's still 5 overs left, so they still might get, say, another 25 runs yet, even 30. They've got 5 wickets in hand. A lot depends on what these two do, say, in the next 3 overs.
So here's Fonderval and Daniel to bowl.
Well, there's still that odd over, John, to be found somewhere.
1 over, yes.
Which might, you never know, produce 12 or 14 runs again. Obviously, Mike really, he gambled a little bit, taking Hughes off and bringing Gatting on, and Gatting took a hammering as well. So he's just got a little predicament there. He's got to get that one odd over out of somebody. Oh, it'll be. Hughes or Gatting, we'll have to wait and see, but it might produce 10 or 12 runs, you never know.
Comes back again now. A huge, very muscular man. Turns, comes up now from the pavilion end, bowls to Smith, right up on a length, and he drives that crisply, but straight to Brearley at mid-wicket, who fields. And this is what the Middlesex captain is really asking of his bowlers. And if he is the only fieldsman saving the one, and he is, and Daniel can twice or three times in an over compel the fieldsman to play it to Brearley, then this is a definite bonus, because if he plays it anywhere else at all, it's a single. And Daniel turns then. A few little teetering strides, then the stride lengthens, kicking up his heels behind him. Studs showing, he bowls, and Smith lofts it. It's to Van der Bijl, and he's talking. That long on. He didn't have far to go. He judged it perfectly. 3 yards away to his right, and he took the catch as it dropped. And that is Smith, the major Surrey performer, caught Van der Bijl, bowled Daniel, 50 at 186 for 7. And that fine piece of batting between those two. They made 62 in 41 minutes off 8 overs. And there's the applause for Smith. I think many people may find it difficult to believe how much that innings and that applause will mean to that boy.
And also to see John Langridge on his last occasion as an umpire in a big match like this receiving a medal. We've just got about a minute and a half. Any last thoughts? Any more thoughts about the fielder from you, Trevor?
Well, I'd go along with Fred. I also like the fielding of Butcher, the other Butcher, who batted so well. I thought he fielded beautifully. I thought the fielding throughout was excellent.
Yes, I thought this is one of the features of one-day cricket, the improvement of the outfielding, and it comes through all the time in these matches. Difficult decision for someone to make. But I'd stick with between those two. I would go for young David Smith of Surrey and Graham Barlow of Middlesex.
Well, we shan't know that because that is decided by Gordon Ross, who has organised the Gillette Cup here for Gillette for the last 18 years. So one final word of thanks to them for having given us so much pleasure. Let's wish the new competition next year every success. And just a final goodbye from all of us up here. This is the end of our cricket season, God willing, and the winter sparing us. We look forward to seeing you all again next summer. And alas, without John Arlott, but we've had him up here today with us, and we wish him well, as all of you have wished him well in every single message we've got. So I think we might as well just say all goodbye in unison. Yes. Goodbye.
Goodbye. See you all next year, and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful season.
Bye.
And thank you all very much. Brian Johnston, Christopher Martin Jenkins, Henry Blofeld, and a very fond farewell to John Arlott on behalf of Radio 3 and all cricket listeners, I'm sure. He's been the voice of cricket for so long, most of my listening life anyway. And he's irreplaceable, but we have wonderful people to go on doing it next year, so we're going to be very glad and very happy. Thanks to our summarisers, Trevor Bailey, Fred Truman, and Fred Titmus, to our scorer and statistician Bill Frindle. Also goodbye to John Langridge, who's going into retirement, to him as well as to John Arlott. Very, very happy retirement, and I hope they'll both keep very closely in touch with cricket and perhaps may even be lured into the box from time to time to add their wisdom. Goodbye too to the Gillette Trophy, and hello to the NatWest Bank Trophy, as it will be next year. So that wraps it all up, a match that ended all rather suddenly and rapidly, when it looked like being a very close thing. Time now to rejoin Radio 3 VHF.